And our main event of the evening, Blake, I mean, I don't know what more we could say about this. This is just a huge fight in every sense of the word, every meaning of huge, gigantic, any synonym you want to throw out there. This is it, because we have the number 2 ranked Dustin Poirier, of course, coming off that fight of the year for a lot of the people against Dan Hooker. His fight before that was for the lightweight title against Khabib Nurmagomedov. And he's coming back to fight the rematch against the notorious Conor McGregor. And this is a huge fight. Of course, Conor's last fight was at UFC 256. And the first fight went down in 2014 at UFC 178, back when we were still in the 100s. This was a featherweight fight, and this was Conor McGregor's only his 4th fight in the UFC at this point. He gets a knockout a minute 46 into the first round, Blake. So a lot has changed since his first fight. A lot of factors are going to this right now. And just give me your breakdown and thoughts going into this main event.
It's kind of tough. I think they've both evolved a little bit since then.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've both gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dustin's gotten more durable. I think he's, with him both of them moving up in weight,
Mm-hmm.
I think that gives them a little bit more of a chance to absorb some of those big shots. The thing that's interesting though is with Conor, we don't really see him absorbing too many big shots. When we see him lose, it's usually by tap out, by exhaustion most of the time. Whereas Dustin, we have seen him get rocked in pretty much every fight. Any fight he's in, he's going to get rocked. And the thing is, if you get rocked with McGregor, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all she wrote. And so that's why I'm pretty confident in saying that I think McGregor gets the dub again, because his confidence level, the training that I've seen that he's been putting in. I mean, just look at his
better
physique.
than ever. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. I mean, both the guys look jacked, but McGregor, it just looks like something. I don't know. He drinks Michael Jordan's secret stuff, before every training and before he goes to bed and before every meal. So it's going to be really tough for Dustin to beat him, especially because I think there has to be. I mean, there has to be something mentally going into that when a guy has already put your lights out once, and that. I mean, I see the motivation on one side and the inspiration, but I also at the same time can see a lot of doubt that could creep up, and you can't. I mean, sure, you can control it, but it's going to seep in every once in a while, and how well is he going to control that? But long story short, I see Conor McGregor getting this win again. Mm-hmm. I think he's just too powerful. Like he's been saying, the whole build-up, he's going to hit him with the shots that he wants to hit him with, and he doesn't think in his mind that Dustin's going to be able to withstand that. And I mean, he's speaking from experience, so I'm going to have to go with the guy that's done it, that's been there and done that.
That's very fair. It's kind of hard to bet against Conor McGregor a lot of time. And one of the stats that you allude to is Conor McGregor, he's only had 2 UFC losses. His first 2 losses were he had one on the Irish regional circuit, and then there is also a loss to Joe Duffy, a Cage Warriors, when he was still fighting in Europe before he came over to the UFC. And both those losses was a round 2 loss, submitted to a rear naked choke by Nate Diaz. And then he also had the round 4 tap out due to rear naked choke again by Khabib in their fight. So with this one, we've always seen the story with Conor McGregor is his gas tank, and he's a round 1 and round 2 fighter. And kind of once you get into the third round, the championship rounds, your chances of beating him start to increase. And I mean, most of his fights don't even get that far. Round 2 knockouts, round 1 knockouts. I mean, his crazy knockout against Jose Aldo, 13 seconds into the fight. His most recent one, Don Cerrone, just 40 seconds into the fight. Just insane stuff. But the thing is, if Poirier is able to take this into the championship rounds, like usual, his chances of winning this fight against Conor McGregor increase tremendously. And he just has to be a smart fighter the first 2-3 rounds. He just has to be. He doesn't have to land heavy things against Conor McGregor. He doesn't have to knock him out. He just almost has to not get knocked out. It really feels that way. So there's a lot going to this. Poirier coming off a fantastic performance against Dan Hooker, able to really piece him up a lot of times in that fight. Of course, you know what they say, Blake, a motivated Conor McGregor beats Francis Ngannou. It's just like that. It's just that simple. And so it's tough. It really is tough. But call me just trying to be a contrarian on this one to you on this show, but I'm going to roll with Dustin Poirier in this fight.
All right, we need to make sure we get all these picks saved because
There
we can't
are
be flip-flopping this week.
No, trust me. I don't flip-flop, Blake.
You're already 0-3, bud.
I'm a
That's
man
trash.
of my word.